going on, guys? Welcome back. As you know, last video we got Daisy the turbo Mustang fired up and running. Of course, she didn't seem like it was, running the greatest in the world, but I had to do a couple little adjustments. Since then, I've gone ahead and fixed most of the wiring. The only thing I didn't fix was this jumper wire for the distributor. I do plan on pulling that distributor out. I have the dual sync distributor that goes with the system to put in the car so I can control timing. Just haven't quite taken the time to figure that out yet. Also, we've gone ahead and put the piping on, the charge piping, and buttoned up other little wiring here and there. Fixed the power issue I had over here so I don't have the jumper wire going to the computer no more. But got my son Jake in the car. We're gonna come back here, we'll turn it on, fire it up for you guys again. Got the timing pretty much set for what it is right now, but what we're gonna do today, we're gonna fire the car up. Just let it sit here idle for a couple minutes, kind of check it out, see what it does. And then we're gonna try to take it on a test drive up to the gas station. Now the car does need a tune, I do know that, but I did turn self-learning on. But I think that really only works for the lower part of the table. I'm not 100% sure. If any of you guys out there are watching this or subscribed and have dealt with the fast systems before, if you got any tips or pointers on how to do the whole programming. I know I still got to learn how to do the day logging and all that stuff. I've usually just taken it to the dyno shop and they've run through it, kind of gone over a few things with me. But right now, let's get it fired up. Jake, go ahead and start it. So you see, it's not idling as high anymore. Gone ahead and adjusted all that, brought everything back down. But I'm gonna let it run for a couple minutes. I'll put the cover over the turbo housing or the exhaust housing. I'm gonna put a hose on the drain that goes to the radiator overflow. It'll flow out of the shop and take it for a little test drive. Go ahead and put mine on. That's what happens when you pull out the regular seat belts. Fuel pump priming. Brakes feel good. Poor little fuel pump back there probably needs to have filters changed. I want to check that later in life. Well, our first trip down the road wasn't very successful. Tuning on this thing's way out. Learning wasn't working. So, as you can see in there, got the laptop hooked up. Been going on and off the internet, looking at different map tables and all that stuff. I'm not 100% sure of anything I'm doing. But, sitting here, playing with the table, my foot in the throttle, kind of power braking it, looking at airfields and stuff. I've updated, moved some numbers around on the table. So, as long as I'm looking at it, I don't plan on beating up on it or putting any boost. As long as it doesn't run super, super lean. Look, if it's around 13 to 1, 14 to 1, under just normal cruising. They said I'm not going to hammer on it or nothing. We're just going to get it up the street. I'm going to bring my son with me again. I'll have the laptop sitting on his lap. Have my wife follow me again. See if we get any farther down the street. But that's the whole purpose of all this. Just learning, having fun with it. I don't want to have to take this thing to a dyno every single time. So next time if we go to the dyno, I'll pay a little more attention, ask more questions. But yeah, go ahead and get back in the car. Go for test drive attempt number 2. Woo. Get this out of the way for them. All right. You see there, we got live stuff bouncing around. It's all just learning. Now, granted, too, if I paid thousands and thousands, I really wouldn't be screwing with it. Too afraid of messing it up. Still kind of afraid of messing it up, even though it's a junkyard budget type build. But just want to have fun with it, try to learn. Everything seems to be doing good. Here's my, let's see here. See my little guy down there, running about idling at 14. Temperature is 195. So we're not doing too bad. Yeah, sit on your left. You gotta get the cord out front of your leg here. Alright, so hand this back over to my son. He's gonna kind of keep an eye on the computer for me as best he can. Out the window, of course. to die on me. But right now, we'll go ahead and get some gas in it, get her all fueled up, maybe get something to drink, and we'll head back to the house. All right, all fueled up. Got us some orange slushies. Let's see, get her all started up. I turned the power off to the car. So, anyways, give this back to my son. Turn the power on, and we'll be headed back. Right there. Go ahead, get some view, get some scenery. All right. Oh. What? Pointing it right. All close up. Well, see, we made it back one piece. Everything seemed to go pretty good. Didn't have any major hurdles except for the first time around where the tuning was just so far off, the car didn't want to move out of its way. But we, you know, hooked the laptop up to it, did a little bit of a Google search there, came up with something that allowed me to drive the car. I just flipped the throttle a couple times. Never really went above half throttle. I did see about between 1.5 and 2 pounds of boost on a couple of them. I'm not sure if any of the video got it, but if it didn't, that's what I did see. Things running super good. It's got a couple little things I got to kind of take care of. Of course, maybe change the fuel filters, see if that helps our fuel pump. And because I am running kind of an aftermarket steering setup, I'm going to see if I can't get under there and move the steering column over just a hair. The driver's side header is touching slightly, and it's just vibrating the heck out of that thing. At certain RPMs, of course. It wasn't touching prior when we first mocked it up, but of course, when I did all the mock-up for the header the first time around, I was using factory mounts. But because I wanted to kind of hold the engine a little bit more solid, but anyways, I wanted to hold the engine a little more solid, so we upgraded the mounts. One of those mounts is Tor, and these mounts are slightly different than the original mounts. They're stronger in other ways of that, but they're made for the Mustang, but they didn't quite fit exact. There was a little bit of finessing I had to do, like the holes I had to elongate just a hair so I can get them to line up with the engine block. Mainly that's it, but the engine does sit a tad bit lower, and because it did that, it's rubbing up against the steering column. But like I said, it's an aftermarket steering column. I can move it over a little bit. If it was a factory steering column, I wouldn't be able to. On a 67, I believe the steering column and the steering box are one unit. I ended up cutting all that stuff off and fabricating the original steering column in this car, so it has a U-joint in there now and goes to a rack and pinion steering, so it does allow me to move it. So that's an easy fix. Other than that, a couple other little things here and there, but I had a blast driving the thing. It was a whole lot of fun. It felt good getting behind the wheel of this thing again. But yeah, a couple of little things I want to do to it. I want to change the rear end out to an 8.8, so we'll go to a junkyard here in the future video or two, get a rear end for this thing so we can update this. I doubt the little 8-inch is going to hold. This car is a good starting point for where it is right now. We're going to see what we can do with what we got. Probably upgrade the turbo and a bunch of other stuff in the future. I think I'll be pushing it with this little guy, but that's really what I want to see. We want to start off here, see what we can make, and then see what kind of power differences we can make as we move along with different upgrades or different setups. This has just been a whole lot of fun. Definitely a learning experience. Yeah, so I'm going to end this video right here. If you guys are new, please hit that subscribe button for me. Definitely share with your friends. Leave a comment. Ask questions. Anything. It's been awesome. Love it. It's been a whole lot of fun, like I said before. And yeah, again, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will catch you guys on the next one.